You know, we're all given different gifts in this life to basically sing our song in whatever way we need to, whatever way can help us grow in love and lightness, to be happy and to not worry, to come closer to the Creator, to the divine, the light. We're all cleaned there. We're all purified in that love, in that light. It's what we're here to do. It's very easy to fall into the anger and the pain, the confusion, and the lostness of, in the Bible, there is a lot of speaking of restlessly wandering on the earth, at the very beginning, It's important that we find our place again, we come back, we reharmonize to not being lost on the earth, but to something greater, to a greater purpose, a greater reason, beyond reason, an intuition, coming closer to our intuition, being able to hear it. We get confused when we stop listening to the wind, listening to the fire, listening to the water, listening to our brothers and sisters. We all breathe the same breath. We all breathe the same breath. The breath of life and death. We all come from, we all go to the same place. We are all here now on this being, this living earth, this organism, this life. So in that way, we are all responsible for this body, collectively and individually, this sovereign body, this sovereign life. Taking responsibility, taking responsibility, taking responsibility. When you feel anger, yes, look within, yes, and give it to God, give it to God, give it to God, over and over and over, again and again, until you hate God so much that you want to puke up the entire world and everything that's in it. This is the way. You give it to God. You give it to Rama. You give it to the fire. Whatever for you is the highest frequency that you can commune with. Commune with it. Give your problems to it. Let them go. They're just stories. It's just an energetic frequency that you've told a story about. I've been seeing it like this lately, as a metaphor. Take it or leave it. You have the fire of life. When you are born in a certain way. You are born into this life with a fire from your mother's womb, out of the vagina, to the world. This journey you go on, it's a microcosm of your macrocosmic life. Your microcosmic life is in those very few moments where you're born. And it's basically the imprint of how your life will go, in a certain sense. All your gifts, all your problems, all your stories. So you look at how you were born, when you were born. How were the stars? Where were you? And it seems like there's someone who's gonna do some construction behind me, so bear with me here. But yeah, where were you born? How were you born? Who bore you? Who are your parents? They created, they seeded you, They're not your creator, but they are your ancestors. And so there's a karmic debt. There is a karmic debt you in a sense owe them. A thank you. That's what you owe them. A thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for bringing me into this world. No matter what, no matter how, whether it was an accident. Well, there are no accidents. That's just a story. God put us here for a reason. And that reason is to love Him, to love God, see God in everything. So when anger and stories get in the way, where is the love? Where is the God? Is it in the stories? Is it in the illusion? Is it in the smoke? Is it in the mirrors? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? When you still see something, then you must not see God. The way is clear, and there is no mirror. And it's finished. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left undone. In that sense, all we have is here. All we have is the present, the moment to moment. One breath, one people, one family, one creation. And in creation, there is sustainment, and there is also destruction. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. The Balinese, they honor this understanding that we are all intertwined. These three chords, the past, the present, and the future. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer. We're all here. Beyond all of it. There is no up, no down. The dark and the light, there is no difference. You know, I wonder, what is a tree? What is a tree? You look at a tree, what's a tree? What is that? Well, it's the same with your brothers and sisters. It's the same with everything. You look inside, you look outside, you look everywhere. You go, what is this? What is happening? Who am I? Who am I? The basic question, the foundation of it all. I like to think of it like you have a body of water that is still, so still you cannot even see it. It's so dark you cannot see, nothing is moving. And in that nothingness, in your questioning, in your wondering, what? You hit the water. You go, what's going on? And in that smack, the water goes in to the air. And it reflects the light. The light would have nothing to reflect off of unless there was something, a question. And your question is up in the air, the wind, and the fire. The light of looking, you see it, and it creates a story, it creates a rainbow. Frequencies. It creates a life. It creates a creation. And it's just an idea. It's just a story. But eventually this story, it goes up. It must come down. And the water will absorb all the frequencies. All the emotions that went along with the story. The up, as it goes up, the water goes up. And then the down, the dark and the light. The very light as it's going up, and the gravity has nothing. Has no say. Oh, but then now it does. Comes back down. Life is like this. Goes up and down. Little stories. Little microcosmic stories of the big macrocosmic one question of God. As He creates many, many drops that fall eventually back to the ocean. So all rivers, they lead to the ocean. All rain rains upon the earth, it goes back to the ocean. Everything goes back to the ocean. All the stories, all your feelings, everything. Even God. Everything is the ocean. So we're all here, living our story, perceiving things, having our questions. But there's only one question. And it was already asked, and it has been answered. It's finished. So this is one reason why we're living in a holograph. We're living in something that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. All in itself. There is no incompleteness in creation. There is no incompleteness in any one creation. All whole, all complete. If you shine a light through each and every one of those droplets, what you would see is the ocean. One ocean. One drop. One humanity. One people. One family. One God. So you give everything up. You give all your stories up. How do you give it up? How? What's the trick? I was thinking, well, hate God. If you're gonna hate something, hate God. Hate the Creator for it. Be mad at the Creator for creating you. Be so angry, so that your entire nervous system, you just want to get more and more angry for being created. You want to get so angry that it's in the pit of your stomach, the very base of your spine, that it's shaking with fucking anger. All your anger, all your frustration, all your discomfort, your unhappiness, your stories, all your feelings. Hate God so much you want to puke up the entire world and everything that's in it, so that there's nothing left and nothing right. No right or wrong, no good or bad. And what's left? Nothing. Just love. The Creator works in love. Life is love. The water is loving. You know, right now, this age, I talk a lot about it. Kali Yuga, the age of destruction. Right now, the rivers they're disgusting. They're full of shit. People shit in the rivers. The cattle, there's too many in one place. They shit and it gets in the river. You cannot drink the water now. There's no abundance left on the earth really. There's some places, some people who keep that harmony, but it's not true abundance anymore because they cannot leave their home and still be abundant. Only in their home they are abundant. This is not external abundance. This is not externally safe. You're not safe right now, physically, externally. You're not safe. You go out, something could happen that is part of the Kali Yuga. So the water, it's dirty. You get these massive areas of the ocean and the rivers that are full of trash. But notice the water does not keep flowing. It gets stuck. It gets stuck and there's only trickles. Also, it will rain high in the mountains and lots of water will come down. And then the water will flow. The nature is loving. It's purgatory. It's going to purge all the trash. It will be pushed down into the ocean. And in ages, the trash will all be disintegrated back to the earth, back to the great being of the Mother Earth, the time and space of this being that we're all walking on. We sometimes forget it's a living being. It's alive. You look at it, the trees, the flowers, the birds, the bees, everything is alive. What makes you think a stone is not alive? What makes anyone think that anything is not alive? Everything inside of you is alive. There's nothing dead. Even if you cook it, it's still alive. It still has a presence, still has a soul. Whatever frequency it is, there is no death, and yet everything is dying. Everything must go. Everything must flow. So we're coming to that point. And today is actually an eclipse in an hour. I thought I'd record a video before the eclipse. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left undone. There's nowhere to go. No one to be. It's finished. It's done. So what now? Don't worry. Be happy. Do your best. Do your best. Don't make assumptions. The stories, all the stories, these are assumptions of what's happening. What's happening? Really, what's happening? And you see it. When you see clearly, there's no story. There's no name for the emotion. There's just the flow. Let go into this flow. No name. No one. Nowhere. Nothing. Nothing to hold on to. And when you do try and hold on to something, pretending that you could actually hold on to something, this is when you start to get frustrated because it's not there. There's nothing to hold on to. There's no one outside of you. There's no you. So look in yourself. Where is you? Who is this self? How can that be? You keep looking, you don't find anything. At least I haven't found anyone. I have a name. Adam Caraco. Who's having it? Oh, me? Well, what is me? What is a tree? Where does it begin? Where does it end? Where is it? What is it? Where is this earth? Where is the cosmos? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's that smack. It's the story of creation. It's a mischievous energy. It's no energy. It's just a question. Who am I? You see nothing, so you hit the water. The water goes into the air. The light of your awareness, it sees it. And it shines and it reflects back at you. As stories, as creation, as everything, as the cosmos, the stars, the mountains, the birds, the bees. As little droplets, Atman, souls, who manifest as rocks and stones and birds and everything. All the way up to the man and the woman. The dance of the water in the air, the wind and the light. But it always comes back down, back to the earth, back to the Pacha, back into time and space and out of time and space. In time and space, out of time and space. The gravity of it all. It's there to make you feel like something is happening, but it's not. It all goes back to nothing. That's the creator, that's the womb, that's the mother. Baba said about Mara, she's my very breath, without which I could not live. So it's the woman, the water. The water is the life. It's everything. Honor the water. You honor the woman. Take care of her. You love her unconditionally, just like everything in life. Everything in life has the força feminina. It is all alive with this force. The externalities, the Shiva, the man, the pride, the doing, the seemingly, the doing, the prabdha. But inside of the prabdha is the ablanari, the woman, the true woman, who is in service to the pride. In the sense that she is just the force. She doesn't do it for pride. She just is. She's the presence. She doesn't have a reason. She's beyond the reason. She's the intuition. She's the water. She's the flow. She's the law. But you could not right her. You cannot wrong her. Purity cannot be touched. You cannot make it impure. You cannot. So you just love it. You don't tell it stories. You just love it. You don't try to put a box on it. Like, this is what she is. This is what that force is. You just let it flow. It's not God. It's the force. It's deeper than that. Meher Baba. Meher Baba is God. He's the avatar. And he often says, I'm not the body. I'm not this body. Don't forget that. Don't forget I'm not the body. Because next life, next incarnation, he'll look different, but it will be the same essence, the same força. The same underlying mischievous chicken. So, this is how I'm seeing things. Take it or leave it. It doesn't, I'm not trying to be right or wrong here. It's just to share. It's just to share where I'm at and what I'm seeing and what I'm not seeing. and what I feel I'm going towards, and also I'm not going anywhere. The body may go, but the consciousness behind it is on a journey of expansion into what? Expansion into what? There is no end to the expansion. You can be so selfish that you encompass the entire creation. But this is still selfish, as the entire creation. God is one step beyond selfishness. The true selfishness is caring for the entirety of creation. But God is one step further. One step further beyond all of it. Completely devoid of any of the world. Any pride. So in that way there is a non-doing in the doing. And this is the harmonizing. You harmonize yourself to the non-dual. Non-dual. I am not this, I am not that. I am. I am, that is. I am, that is. You are, I am. We are, I am. All one in none. And so you look within and you find nothing. And this is it. That's it. There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing to do. You're not this or that. I'm not this or that. I am. And so when we fall out of that and go into the stories and into the life thinking we are something, picking this up, picking that up, all this baggage, all this stuff, all this self-storage, putting our stuff somewhere in this house and that house and having to accumulate all these things all the time, completely devoid of any of it. You cannot touch it. You can never really have anything in this world. And in that way, the soul is in this delusion of having and not having. I am this, I am that, I am the body, all the way to I am not the body. I am that, I am that. You look within, you find the silence, you listen, and it's subtle. It's so subtle that as you listen, it begins to blow away things that are not you. All the things you thought you were, you've got to let go until, in order to listen. If you're full of things and full of ideas, full of thoughts and concepts and precepts and principles, how can you hear the wind flowing through your ear, touching your heart? How can you feel the love all around and in and through everything, in every sound? How can you feel the flame? How can the flame burn if you have filled the fireplace with too many logs, too many things? The fire needs the space. It's the space between that makes it useful. The space between that makes it useful. It's the Tao, and it's Lao Tzu. You need a cup. You need a house, maybe. You need to put the water in something so you can drink it. You need to be able to drink it, so you need intestines and organs, and all these things are just useful. Everything in life is just useful. And when it becomes more than useful, this is where desires enter. Where not only do you want to use it, but you want to tell a story about it. You want something more than it is. If you want something more than it is, now you create more density inside of what was spacious. If you make the cup too much glass in the cup, you get less space for water. So we find a balance. This is the Tao. You find the way in which you can still live and have your needs met. How can you live and have your needs met? Well, you cannot have desires then. So the desires have to go. What do you want? In this age we live in, everyone wants to know, what do you want? What do you want? But we've forgotten what we actually need. What we need is a deeper introspection into the realities of life. You need water. You need good food. You need connection. You need Sangha. You need medicine. These are constants. You need to take care of each other. You need to take care of yourself. This body, you're here in a body. You cannot ignore that. These are needs. You take care of them, and externally you start to live a life where when you have all your needs met, you don't even need food every day. Maybe you do. The new life, it's something so beyond what you can conceive of. It's something so beyond wants and desires. You cannot conceive it. You can only bring it down when you gets out of the way. When there is a constant remembrance and surrenderance to God, to truth. And this new life is what we're moving into. It's the Sat Yuga, where we have a connection to the Creator, to the Great Spirit. The native traditions say, stay close to Great Spirit. Wankantanka Shila. Stay close. And then Wataskawe, which is a Cree word for we're all family. We are all family. When we start to take care of each other as if I am the other, as if we are each other, because we are, we stop seeing what's mine and yours. When those go, there is an expansion. There is more connection to what is true. In this way, we become more careless. Not a care in the world. Why would you care about the world? It's not real. It's an illusion. The world is an illusion. The world is your story. It's the great Leela. It's the dance. It's devoid of anything other than a dance. Step, step, step. What are you walking on? You're walking on your words. You don't really know. So often, it's good to say, I don't know. To believe it, I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It feels as if there's wind blowing on my face. It feels as if I'm digesting right now a croissant and some coffee. But I don't know. Anything could be happening right now. And nothing is happening. Look within. You look within. Instead of hating others, you look within. Instead of blaming others, you look within and you love God. I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you. Share it. Yeah. Just share it. You'll always have more to give when you give. You give. You always receive when you give. But when you give, an expectation, you're holding an expectation you cannot receive. Now your cup will become empty because you're expecting something. Don't expect anything because it can come from anywhere. Receiving does not come from where you think it comes from. Sometimes maybe you're correct, but not often. More often, you just give from an open heart, a clean heart, a pure place of I love you here, and you forget about it. Oh, did I give you something? I don't know, I don't care, but I'll give it to you again. In this way, you start to see not you and not them, but everything as it is. That there is no holding on and there is no letting go. Who is holding on and who's letting go? Who is receiving? Who is giving? I don't know. To come closer to God, to the truth, is to surrender more of ourselves to it. More of what we think our blockages, think our difficulties, all of our stories, the more we give them up, the more we let them go and just be. Surrender. It doesn't mean say yes to everything. It doesn't mean say no to anything. It doesn't mean anything. Loving God doesn't mean that you're better or worse. It doesn't make you anything. It makes you less. So it's said that the meek will inherit the earth. The meek will inherit the earth. You cannot be strong forever. No one can be strong forever. Everyone goes back to the earth and everyone will die. We will all die. The meek will inherit the earth. So what does that mean? It means you are nothing until you realize that you are not and God alone is. You'll be running around the earth trying to be something, trying to hold on to everything, and you will die again and again and again and again, over and over and over. In every cycle of time, there you will be trying to be something, trying to do something that's already finished, like a madman, like a madwoman. Insanity. Trying to build something so that you can be something. You can identify with that building or that relationship or this thing. But you will die. You will die one day. You will be remembered. But even your memory in time will be forgotten. What is remembered? What is eternal? What is never forgotten? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing is remembered. Nothing is forgotten. There's a duality there. So remember nothing. And let the wind touch your heart through your ears. Let the wind touch your heart through your ears. I really like that. Who am I? It always comes back to this. Who am I? Who am I? I am the universe and everything that is in it. And also beyond. Beyond, beyond. Beyond all of it. When I am not something, there is a capacity to love, to be, and deal with things in a coordinate manner. When I am not someone, now there is an opening, there is a spaciousness to just be. It doesn't mean to hide away in some cave and meditate and shrink away from life, from whatever is around. Don't run away, it's not running away, because when you come back, if you come back, now you got it if you don't come back, right? If you don't die and you just ascend, you don't come back, cool, you got it. You went to your cave, you got your enlightenment, you're gone. But if you come back, your problems will find you again. There you are, in the middle of a city, getting stressed out, having a hard time, falling in love again. So it's an art. It's an art right now to be in life, but completely devoid of it, completely out of it. Not identifying with anything, anyone, not even yourself. Just be. Be with the Lord. Be with the Creator. It's not here. It's here. It's that fire. It's the intuition. It's the vision. The inner sight. We have a capacity to look outside of ourselves. To look outside for something. But I'm not that. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not this. I'm not that. On and on until you get it. That you're not. There's nothing to get. Who is there to get it? So, thank you. Ciao.